We've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement. And I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could. And they have chosen not to accept our terms.
21 hours. That's a long time. And it's exactly how long the first direct talks between the US and Iran in 47 years lasted. Think about that. 21 hours to try and mend a nearly half-century-old rift. And this all went down in a fortified hotel in Islamabad, with the entire world pretty much holding its breath, hoping for some kind of breakthrough in what's become the most dangerous conflict we've seen in a generation. And then, just like that, with one simple statement, it was all over. No deal. No new framework, nothing. So what on earth happened? How did 21 hours of intense negotiation end with absolutely nothing to show for it? We're going to break down what went on inside that room, why these crucial talks fell apart, and most importantly, what could possibly happen next. You know, you really can't overstate how high the stakes were here. This meeting in Islamabad was truly historic. You had two longtime adversaries sitting down together with immense pressure from basically everyone to find a way to step back from the brink of a much wider war.
And just look at the scale of this thing. The US brought a massive delegation. We're talking around 300 people. Iran had 71. The sheer number of people tells you just how complicated this was. And they weren't just talking about one thing. The agenda was huge. Iran's nuclear program, the security of the Strait of Hormuz, those crippling sanctions, even war reparations, the whole shebang.
And check out this little detail, because it's fascinating. You've Pakistan's field marshal greeting the Iranians in his full military uniform. Then he goes and changes into a black suit to welcome the Americans. I mean, if you want a perfect visual for the incredibly delicate diplomatic tightrope Pakistan was walking, trying to bridge these two completely different worlds, that's it right there. Okay, so with so much on the line, and after all those hours, why did it all just fall apart? Well, it turns out it all came down to one single, unbridgeable gap. It seems like almost everything else was, at least in theory, negotiable. But there was this one wall that neither side could or would climb over. And this is it. This is the absolute heart of the disagreement. It's all about the nuclear program, but the specific words here are crucial. The US demanded a permanent, verifiable end to Iran's nuclear weapons program. But for Iran, having a nuclear capability, not necessarily a bomb, but the ability to make one, they see that as their sovereign right. It's their ultimate insurance policy, and they're just not giving it up. And to really get where Iran is coming from, you have to try to see the world from their point of view. They look at what happened to leaders like Saddam Hussein in Iraq and Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. Both of them gave up their weapons of mass destruction programs, and we all know how that ended for them. So from Tehran's perspective, this isn't just a bargaining chip, it's a guarantee of their own survival. And almost immediately, you could see both sides starting to shape the narrative for everyone back home. The US comes out and says, hey, we made our final and best offer and Iran rejected it. Plain and simple. Iran's statement? Totally different. It was natural no agreement was reached in a single day. The ball is now in America's court. It's like they were describing two completely different meetings. So that's the big question, right? Where do we possibly go from here? The failure in Islamabad isn't the end of the story. No, it feels more like the start of a brand new, really uncertain chapter, with some pretty dangerous paths forward. Most analysts are mapping out about 5 main scenarios. The best case, most optimistic one, is that the ceasefire somehow holds and talks resume. At the complete other end of the spectrum, the most dangerous possibility, a major military escalation. In between, you've got these other messy scenarios, like a return to a low-level conflict, a wider war accidentally triggered by something in Lebanon, or the very slim chance that Iran buckles under the pressure and reconsiders the deal. And the pressure is on, because there is a very real deadline here. A fragile 2-week ceasefire was announced back on April 7th. With today's failure, that ceasefire is set to expire on April 21st. We are on a ticking clock, and it's running out fast. All of this leaves the world with a deeply uncomfortable question. After the bombs and the sanctions and now the talks have all failed, are we facing a problem that simply has no solution? I mean, this is the stark reality of it all. 40 days of intense bombing couldn't force Iran to give up its core goals. And now, 21 hours of historic face-to-face diplomacy couldn't find a compromise. Force failed, and now it seems diplomacy has failed too. The only thing we know for sure is that this problem just got a whole lot harder. And that ceasefire clock, well, it just keeps on ticking. And so as those delegations fly home, the world is left to just hold its breath, facing a really haunting and uncertain question. What comes next? The honest answer? Nobody knows.